Well, hello. Yes, it's that time again. It's time for the ESPC show, and it's Paul, and it's
Megan.
And this week
we are speaking all about Fife.
We are. Well, we are, but they are as well, aren't they?
Yes, we've got Michael Maloco and Elaine Kyle on. So Michael from Maloco Mowat Parker and Elaine from Morgans. You might recognise them from, they were our guests on our Dunfermline episode in season 2. Which is over a year ago now. But yeah, they're on to talk all about what's been happening in the local market over there.
Yeah,
over the
Fife born
bridge.
and bred, real Fife enthusiasts. But they share some knowledge also about sort of hidden gems, emerging trends, and some hotspots as well. So well worth a watch. So here we go. Here's the show. So welcome. We've called this the Fife edition, haven't we?
Yeah.
And the reason we're calling it Fife edition is we're going to have a chat with two solicitor estate agents based in Dunfermline. Last time we chatted, one of our most popular episodes, we were sitting on a park bench. It was the middle of summer, but we thought the weather was so lovely today.
You could do it today.
I know, we really could.
It's so mild.
In fact, give us half
we
an
could
hour.
do it again.
We'll go back there. But here we are, we're in the studio, and we thought we'd have a chat with you. So maybe a good place to start if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Sure. Okay. Hello, my name is Michael Maloco of Maloco Mowat Parker. Currently fulfilling a consultancy role as I've taken a step back a little bit from the front line.
Brilliant, thank you.
And I'm Elaine Kyle from Morgans, and I'm the senior valuer.
Fantastic. So, yeah, two real experts, two huge Fife fans, enthusiasts.
Absolutely.
We were told before the show you've already got a list of hotspots and lovely places to talk about.
Both born and bred Fife, aren't
Yes,
we?
Oh, there you go.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're both born and bred.
Yes, we are. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get started.
Yeah, so just to kick us off, we kind of thought, just in case anyone who's listening is maybe considering a move to Fife, where are some of the key areas in Fife? We kind of mentioned Dunfermline there, but maybe some other big areas that that people could consider moving to.
Outside Dunfermline, you have got coastal villages. They're more expensive, but your commuter areas, in particular for Edinburgh buyers and the Lothians, Central Belt, I would say Inverkeithing, Rosyth, Dalgety Bay. You've got your mix of properties that are still very good value for money, considering the average house price in Dunfermline surrounding areas it's 220,000 roughly. Michael, it's I would say in Inverkeithing, Rosyth, Dalgety Bay, smaller properties. You can pick up 2-3 bedroom houses for 165 to 185. Yeah. So these areas are really,
really
commuter wise.
And if you're going a little bit more upper end, then just along the road you've got Aberdour and Burnt Island. Again, both got great rail links into the centre of Edinburgh. Yeah. So
and how did you both get here today?
By train.
There you go. I knew that. I could have blown up in my face, couldn't I?
Totally. I mean, from Inverkeithing, Dunfermline, you're looking at train twice an hour. Inverkeithing, you're looking at every 15 minutes, basically. So it really is very good. And of course, you do get more bang for your buck just over the bridge.
Well, we were doing yesterday. We were doing a filming, weren't we, for something that's going to be out on TikTok. And one of my last things I had to remember at the end, you told me, was 1-bedroom flats in Dunfermline.
We're still under £100,000.
Yes,
on average.
that's right.
That's right.
You're not
you
really going to find that in Edinburgh.
No, not at all.
You can still buy a one-bed flat, 75,000.
I'm not sure if it's you or Amanda selling the one that's at Bannerman Street.
Yes.
It's a really nice looking flat.
Nice flat.
I saw it came up in my feed. Really nice looking flat, and it's again just under the 100.
Yeah, I mean there's some period properties which have got nice features, and I suppose first time buyers, yes, they're excellent buys for first time buyers. And they can do them up a wee bit, sell them on as time goes on. That's what we're trying to say. Look, maybe get something lower end and work on that ladder. But first-time buyers do want to have a more modern home sometimes, 2-3 bed terrace with an ensuite. So it's a bit of a mix.
And talking about where, so we've kind of talked going, that the eastern coastal part. Again, if you're in the former mining villages of Kelty, Cowdenbeath and Lochgelly, which have some really good properties. Again, substantially cheaper than in Dunfermline and Dalgety Bay. So for most budgets, most pockets, there's something,
Yeah, sounds it. And shall we just talk about the market then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So how has the market been, in the last couple of months?
It's been pretty astounding, to be honest.
It's a good word.
Even considering the interest rate increases last year. And obviously we'll hear today about the interest rate today, but coming down. But last year, we were about 20% up on listings from 2023, so it's been a pretty groundbreaking year. in Fife. In
Yeah.
Kinross
And
as
why
well.
do you think listings were up so much? What would you put that down to?
There is a lot in Dunfermline, within Dunfermline and maybe going out a mile or two, there is a lot of house building going on. But I mean, 40-50% of people in Dunfermline, that's what they're moving to.
Yeah.
So
is that churn? They see a new
churn,
build, they want to sell.
Yeah, there has been that influence.
And I think, the cost of living crisis has eased. Inflation's obviously dropped. You're down below 2% now, and obviously we've had one interest rate cut, and then there was another one today. Obviously, I think we're now sitting at 4.75, and I think people I've kind of got used to the fact that there's no point in waiting for them to return to a base rate of 0.25%, because that's never happening. So once people have got used to the fact that, okay, if I can get a 4% deal, something in that sort of ballpark, I can make this work. So we've found that the hesitancy, people have kind of got their heads around it, see a direction of travel, and they're happy to make the commitment. That's what we found. And again, our listings are up, quite considerably. Also, this year. And
I suppose the other thing is not just about listings, though, isn't it? Properties are selling.
Yeah. I
provided they're priced correctly.
Yeah.
More choice, so more competition.
More choice, as long as people are sensible, and that's where, we in our social media and in newsletters and things, we obviously are always talking about, the average being achieved over home report price, and we obviously always share the ESPC posts that we get through, and you're saying to people, it's about 3%. It's about 3%. To have clients that think, I'm looking for a minimum of 10% over. It's about managing expectations. So the right stock at the right price, because it isn't the case, as we've had, obviously we're both long in the tooth and done this a long time. It isn't one of those markets, I don't know about Elaine, where anything will sell at any price.
No, it's changed slightly.
You've got to be sensible about your asking price, and then you will sell.
I think for West Fife and Dunfermline surrounding areas, the whole aspect that there's people moving over, since in the last few years, post-COVID, they do want more country properties. They can afford sort of 4 or 5 bedroom houses, work from home, hybrid working. So I think that's why the last few years has been the biggest influx, coming over to West Fife in general, hence why we're selling more. It's a bit of a mixed bag with the new builds in Dunfermline as well as anything else.
Because they can have a positive or a slightly negative impact on the market economy. New builds, just depending on where they price them versus.
That's right. And there was a time where they were, it was.
Doesn't really, from in my experience, it doesn't affect obviously a traditional property.
Yes.
What it does affect is, so in Dunfermline, absolutely, the eastern expansion, Dewloch, massive tranche of private house building, obviously beginning to come to an end now. But if you've got a builder incentivising, and you've got someone selling a similar-ish property, but they've got second-hand carpets that have had a family traipsing over them for a few years and all the rest of it. They've got to be alive to the fact that that is your competition.
The West Fife villages like Kearney Hill and Crossford, they're undergoing new builds just now, going ahead. So these villages are going to be expanding a bit.
Population growth is huge, isn't it?
But it's good. It's a positive thing.
Absolutely.
In a lot of ways, it does help the house prices at the lower end.
Yeah, I
these
think
villages
so.
that have been hotspots.
And hopefully puts money into the local economy and so it goes. Speaking of which, we had a great time when we went to the town centre, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a little day out in Dunfermline and it was great.
We got our lunch, didn't we?
Yes.
Where did you go?
We went to the Indian Doom restaurant. That was really good.
And the guy, he actually did say on the podcast he's lived in all these amazing places, and he said the best place I've ever lived
was
Dunfermline. That's what he said.
Yeah, no, he loves it. He has an affinity with the peacocks, because obviously India and peacocks, and then Dunfermline famous for our peacocks.
I mean, the Pit and Creek Park's excellent, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've got the Abbey, and you've got a lot of points of interest.
I'm pretty sure
as well as
people,
5 coastal paths are brilliant, cycle paths are great.
There's so much undiscovered, isn't there? You know, I suppose you can get caught up in being in Edinburgh and you never really venture and go and see, but you invest time in the place, it does really open your eyes, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, I mean, but places like, you know, I mean, the Alhambra Theatre, I mean, it gets some great acts, especially on the comedy circuit. It gets the very top. I mean, you know, Jimmy Cars and all these people played Dunfermline.
And Carnegie Hall as well.
So Dunfermline's a good balance, good quality of life. And I talked about, you've got those, you know, the commuting to Edinburgh, but you've got the coast and you've got the country just on your doorstep. It's very quick to be able to get into the country. You know, head up sort of, you know, north towards Glen Eagles and stuff. It's really good.
As Michael was saying about other areas like Kelty and Lochgelly, Ballingery, your sort of mining communities have got good mix of property as well. You've got Lochore Meadows.
Oh, beautiful.
That's fantastic up there, and that's only if you've got the train station there as well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there's a lot of hidden spots that you can explore.
Yeah, indeed.
And if you live in those areas, it's very affordable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you mentioned some hotspots there. Where are we seeing the most activity across West Fife?
I would say Dunfermline itself, Garvick area. There is an area, Queen Margaret Fold, which is near the hospital. It's a very popular bit of a hotspot as far as areas.
It's a bungalows. My parents, my late parents, they lived there. It's bungalows, and they're at a premium. Yeah. Very much a premium in most places, but in Dunfermline, very much. So it's a hot spot and gets a premium.
Yeah.
Garvick, as
I would say, your sort of, you know, your more traditional areas in Dunfermline are pretty, you know, very popular. Although you will pay a wee bit of a premium.
And the office was telling me, Elaine, that you know, we were saying for first time buyers, we were seeing some really good activity in Abbeyview.
Yes,
area.
absolutely.
Now, Abbeyview was an area, you know, growing up in Dunfermline in the sort of late 60s and into the 70s. It was an area that had challenges. For certain, it had challenges. But, you know, now the former local authority stock, some of it has been upgraded. You know,
people are spending money on the properties.
Right to buy,
and then they've been bought. You know, and now they're in there. They've been upgraded superbly, and the room sizes in these interwar local authority homes are really big, much bigger than the new builds, and they provide you know, surprising
great
value
starter
for money.
Homes for families, young families. You know, starting from sort of 125 for a 2-3 bed mid-terraced. You know, you can get semi-detached with a garage up at 155, 160. These are south of Dunfermline. We say Abbeyview, as Michael said, so very popular. These are hotspots. In Verkeerd and Rosyth that we've touched on, but and they're easy. The schooling's nearby. There's shopping facilities nearby. They've all got their small infrastructure. But you can say Abbeyview in particular is a great place to start.
Has been good, and that's somewhere I think that more than in previous years we've seen activity there this year. You know, more than in previous years, as I say.
Okay. So we've spoken about sort of the current market. Where do you see it next year? Pushing you for predictions here.
Well, I think we've seen interest rates drop again today, and the Governor of the Bank of England actually specifically said that is now the direction of travel. I think you know, there are potentially some smaller cuts in mortgage rates, which will be good for the market. Obviously, the budget and, you know, the election yesterday in America, these are going to bring in some inflationary pressures. I do expect to see inflation just blip up a little bit. So, you know, I think there'll be modest further drops. And if you look at the swap rates and the money markets, which tend to dictate the mortgage rate, they've gone up. So, you know, we don't see anything too drastic. But yeah, I'd say more of the same, building a little bit of momentum, but all importantly, and I think Elaine will agree, everyone around this table will agree, is not to the extent of overheating, because that boom and bust is
nobody wants that.
It's rubbish.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. You know, it's no good. And for us, you know, for the end of the year, we're always saying to people at the end of the year, think now, I'll just hang on till the new year. Now's a great time to sell.
Still a window.
And there will be fewer people coming to the market. So there's less competition to get eyeballs on your property, and those buyers that are out there are motivated. They might need to have somewhere because they've got a new job starting at the start of the new year or whatever. And if you're on and keenly priced at this time towards the end of the year, we've traditionally see some really good sales towards the end of the year. And I can't remember a year where on the last day of term we weren't still selling property.
Yeah, it just right up to the last
minute.
Yeah.
So now's a good time.
Stock
People need the
levels are
home,
good.
they need the
Stock
home.
levels are good.
Yeah.
We've sold 50, 60 properties. Maybe doesn't sound a lot, but the stock levels.
But if you're turning it over, that's
turning it over,
which you
that's
are.
right. If you're
So
it's.
So you think more of the same as well next year?
I mean, as far as the economy, Mike's more or less covered that. I would agree with that. And there's been a few things in our own budget that's probably from employers and national insurance and that situation. So it's always a sort of telling time, isn't it, going into 2025? That's a kind of biggie, everything that's been on the last few years. But I think the market's fairly stable. And for us in West Fife, and I'm sure the whole of the Central Belt as well, people need to move. They need to upsize, downsize. Your families need to get an extra room or two. So I don't see it changing too dramatic. I think the prices will remain fairly stable. And there is people there that do have a bit more money to spare. In particular if they are commuting over to West Fife, so they'll maybe be able to keep the prices. People will get what they want sometimes, and other times they won't.
In terms of investment opportunity, I mean, I think the predictions are, the money markets or a lot of experts, and maybe go with this, are saying that probably see house price inflation just above the retail price index, the rate of inflation. So if you're as an investment, even you shouldn't think of your home as an investment, but it's nice to know if it is just outstripping inflation, and I think it will, because I think inflation will be settling around about 2.5% perhaps. So
we're looking forward to it. There's no doom and gloom for next year, not yet.
No, unless we're blindsided by some horrible geopolitical event that happens, put Trump in power. Joking apart, something like that happens, Middle East and all these sorts of things. But other than that,
I think the market's proven to be pretty resilient, hasn't it? When if you think about the things that have gone on, war in Europe, we've had the trust me budget.
I mean, again, one of Labour's promises and big challenges. There are too few homes. That's just the fact of the matter. Which is why, Elaine and my own practice, Morgan's and Maloco Mowat Parker do a lot of lettings. I mean, as an investment opportunity, the buy-to-let market, rents. Now, to your Edinburgh audience listening, think where the figure I mentioned, think, God, that's great value. But I mean, £850 per month for a 2-bed flat in Dunfermline. A few years ago, that would have been 675.
650, yeah.
675. Now you're at 850 for a 2-bed flat.
A real growth there.
But it's because there's just
and I suppose you've got to do the sums at that point, haven't you? Because that sort of rent's great. But if you could buy and get a mortgage,
yes, absolutely.
But not everyone wants to commit themselves to a mortgage. So again, it's whatever's right for people. But I think it's a really healthy lettings market you've got there.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, it's buy to let. It's pretty easy to get about a 7% yield. Which is better than anything else you'll get. Okay, it's gross, but you're going to get 7% yield, and
asset appreciation.
Yeah, totally. And if you pick up something that maybe just needs a little bit of tarting up, and you can do that smartly, then you can be stretching your yield.
We try and encourage first-time buyers
8.5 to 10%.
And build on something that's maybe a wee bit needing a bit TLC, and they're not having to put too much of a deposit down. They can get the mortgage for it easily enough, and then they'll sit on a nice tidy profit over the next 5 years.
I mean, we see on a house price report, it's always top 3 area for listings and for sales. So that and you've described it there. The general activity this year is just up a level on what it's been in previous years. Many down, as you say, to a bit more of an abundance of supply, which is nothing but good news, really. Good.
Yeah. Is there anything that is in really high demand that you're maybe not seeing the stock of? I'm just thinking if somebody's sitting in a...
Where would you like more properties?
Yeah. What more
we'll give a shout out.
High demand. I think. 3 and 4 beds are still the. When you're out valuing a property,
family homes.
I mean, there's never a problem to say to someone, we've got people already looking for your type of house, and we're not just saying that. Your house is in high demand. They know they're going to sell.
The big modern sort of 5-bed family house, a big family, that not so much. So we've found it because obviously, again, people are still a little bit tempted. There is a cost of living, if not crisis, it's still still there to be considered. And do people need to upsize from a 4-bed to a 5-bed? Probably not really.
And the associated costs of that now are quite expensive.
Costs, etc. And the LBTT, etc. So, but within so the former local authority 3-bed family home, or in Dunfermline, Pitcorthy in Dunfermline.
Yeah,
you can just sell houses in Pitcorthy.
1970s builds.
70s wimpy type estate.
Very sought after.
Fantastic. And then you go to the Eastern Expansion, but family homes. And 2-bed flats as well.
Period flats, Victoria Terrace in Dunfermline, Goosefield,
nice.
These areas are nice. They're traditional period Victorian buildings, and 2-beds there recently have been very popular. From a scale, again, from something a smaller property, that when you're valuing it again, you're sort of saying you can say to them confidently, don't worry. What you're going to buy will be popular, and maybe will go to closing date, because 20% of your properties have been going to closing date. But we can assure you, you will get your flat away to buy that next one up. If they're moving sort of upsizing into another property, by a bigger flat, like a 2 or 3 bedroom flat. So there's a lot of movement there, and they're sought after.
I totally agree with that. And my only proviso to that would be, provided people are sensible about their asking price, are realistic, and look at the ESPC stats, listen to expert agents and say, right, okay, look, about 3% over, and it might be a bit less on one type of property, and of course for something that's at a premium and is a rare commodity on the market, of course you can be looking at more than that, but
like
be guided by be guided by the agent. Is obviously what to do. Someone like Elaine and our practice, Kieran Lorne, a lot of experience to draw on it, and you're paying for our service, so you'd be crazy not to take advantage of the expertise that's standing there in front of yours at the end of a phone. Listen to them is what I would say.
And we know from our own independent market research, a solicitor agent will get you more versus the home property than an independent. So absolutely, but as you say, pricing is key.
But
I think what we're picking up there is there's lots of demand, there's some hotspots, and a few hidden gems as well.
Gems. Burnt Island, that area's hidden gem.
One of our most viewed properties in October was one there. Amazing views.
The views are amazing.
Superb.
You can get an ice cream along the way.
You can.
I think that was everything we were going to ask you guys, so thank you both for coming back on the podcast.
To come back.
Sure,
always
we'll
nice
see
to
you
speak to you guys.
It's a pleasure, and we'll see you in summer for the park bench chat.
Absolutely.
That'll
be good.
Maybe a peacock will walk past.
Or an ice cream. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so there we go. That was Michael and Elaine. They do love Fife, don't they?
Every time they speak about living in Dunfermline, I always think, wow, it sounds like such a great place to live.
They're still talking about it now. The show's finished. The wax and lyrical going down the stairs talking about it.
So if you enjoyed this week's episode, as always, please subscribe wherever you're watching or listening, whether that's Spotify or YouTube. You can always leave us a comment if you're watching on YouTube, or you can send us any questions to marketing@espc.com. We would love to answer them for you.
Absolutely. And we quoted a house price report there. You'll find that on espc.com under the news section, out every month. But that's us for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we will catch up with you real soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye.